Welcome to That One Time in Business with me, your host, Casey Renee, a creative director and brand strategist who has 1,000,001 stories and lessons to share. Now remember, these are teachable moments with a twist and a laugh. So let's get started. Okay, so boom. This episode is a little different. I have the opportunity to have my business bestie on this podcast. I mean, he's definitely way more than my business bestie. We call each other about life and all the things. So we talk about things all the time. I have to be like, after we get off the phone, be like, damn, that should have been a podcast episode. Like, the world needed to hear that. Like, we say that all the time. So we decided for this episode, it's not going to be the normal format. We're just going to just talk. And our struggles, where we're at mentally, everything like that. I love this guy. His name is Tibias, and he is heaven sent to me. So we, and he thinks I know every font that the world has to offer.
Because you do.
He will literally text and say, "Hey, font guru, what is this font?"
Oh, great font. And within 30 seconds, you're like, "Oh, this is Calibri. I'll email it to you really quick." It's like, how did you do that?
So I'm excited. So we're just going to just kind of like jump on into it. So hi, babe. How are you?
Today I'm here. I'm newly months into therapy, and one of the exercises me and my therapist do is we put a number to it. So today I'm probably a 5.5, 6. I'm at a 6. I'll give it a 6.
We're mid.
Yeah,
are you working on any projects? You working today?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yes, I am working today. It's a little sporadic and it's all over the place, just like my brain right now, but I'm working. Are you working today?
I want to give a number. Okay. I got really hungover last night.
Really?
I did, but I actually did good. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning and just started doing work, which I was actually shocked about because I'm trying to give up drinking. Me and weed, we go together.
And I'm never taking another edible from you again.
So I'm just like, so with that being said, I think I'm at like an 8.
That's good.
It is good, and it's especially because I need clients at the moment.
So I get it.
It's a slow patch for a second. But I'm going into the school system now, so that I'm about to go back into the school system. So that kind of helps making me feel like, okay, Casey, this is temporary. Because I just need a break from the hustle and bustle of, I don't want to experience burnout in my business.
So let's talk about that. Because we're both making similar decisions. I'm going to be getting into cybersecurity still, and in addition to it, and yes, it is primarily financial. But at the same time, I'm at a place where, like you said, I don't want to. I need a break from the hustle. But I'm also in a place where I want my creativity to be my outlet. I don't want my creativity to be the way I eat, at least for a little bit.
Exactly.
Because it's supposed to be your outlet and how you cope with life. And if it's the shit that's bringing you stress, then what? Then we calling each other like, I'm spiraling. I don't want to be. You know what I mean? So I want to experience what that feels like. And I feel like for a minute, my creativity was filtered through the lens of what's going to be commercial. And it got to a point where for a minute, I couldn't design not based on what's commercial. And that was a little scary to me.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when we talked one time and you was like, do you kind of like think the mass, this is like maybe like a year or two ago. And you was like, do you think the mass will like this? And I'm like, no, try something exciting and pushing the envelope. But you were just like, I have to operate as a business where I need to sell right now. And I can't operate as a creator.
I got to eat.
And I hate that for you. To be honest, I hate that for like a lot of people. I remember, and I hate that for you. I hate that for everybody. And I think that I'm kind of in that zone where I really, really, really want to create something so dope and so epic. I think the last time I got to create something so dope And it might not even be dope to everybody, to the mass, but when I got to do those posters in quarantine, that's the last time I could say, like, I had fun with designs. Now, don't get it twisted. I have some clients that come through the door and I'm like, oh, this shit is fun. Like, this is a cool project. But something that I didn't have to worry about edits on, or something I didn't have to, wasn't relying on payment. And I feel like with me going back in the school system now, announcement, I'm going back to the school system. I didn't think. You heard it first.
Yeah.
I feel like me going back to the school system, I can now create, first of all, kids, students, that's going to spark me anyway, because them creating, because I can teach creative arts. So that's going to help anyway. And then on top of that, it's like, I can pick up, the agency when I want to, but I don't have to. So if it's serving me, I can pick it up and design. But if it's not serving me, then I can be like, all right, I can just leave this alone for a couple of weeks. I've never in my whole career ever been able to put up a post that says no longer taking clients or not taking clients right now. I low key want to see I want to see what that feels like. I feel like that's a flex, and I really want to flex.
No, I think that opens you up for everything, because there are so many decisions you have to make in business that you can be more fearless with when you could risk it. Like, I don't mind quoting a certain price and you possibly not taking it if I know my livelihood is taken care of. Or I'm not going to deal with you. Yeah, I mean, the agreement was 3 edits, so I'm not going to just appease you by doing 5. Like, there's so many things that happen with that. And I know for me, as far as clothing, the thing people don't understand when it comes to shirts, especially new designs, it's not even profitable until you sell X amount of a certain design.
Yeah.
Because you're covering your production costs. So that's the lens I was thinking through. Like, I got to make sure no matter whatever that base is, 24, I got to sell 24 of these before I can even start counting. So I have to, where I want to take this creative artistic risk, if I'm out here like too early, if you think of somebody like an artist like Khalees, Khalees is always, if you look at anything Khalees has ever done, if she would have put that out 3 to 5 years after when she put it out, it would have been what was considered commercially successful. So there are some risks I want to take when it comes to design or clothing, but it's easier to stay within the lens of what people are just going to buy.
And also inflation, just the way of the world. Like, there was a post talking about to be stable, it was like $233,000 a year, some shit. And mind you, I'm gonna call a spade. That ain't for Black people. So we need more, because we need the overcompensation. So it's just like, I'm like, that's crazy. And that's a rat race. That's burnout. That's all of those things. Like, I was just in a grant program and I learned, like, so I had one of the sectors in the grant program was HR, right? Me and this, whatever. But babe, it's over now. So whatever. Me and that lady, we just wasn't seeing it for each other. And I was just like, I don't have a team anymore. Like, I use our contract. And she just kept getting on this soapbox about a fucking team. And I'm like, ma'am, everybody doesn't aspire. Like, if you had asked me maybe 2 years ago, yes, I want to open doors. I want a whole full team. I want this studio space where other creatives can come in. That's where I was. But then the more I started to research, the more I started to actually have the team, the more I started to do things, I was like, yeah, no, because reality is, as the owner and the CEO, you got to funnel out what your team is doing. I could barely understand what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the whole other thing, right?
Yeah, because I'm a creative. So I'm like, I'm not about to run no fucking team. I mean, granted, I have a COO, but I feel like we work. We genuinely balance. Like, that's the balance. And I'm like, all right. So she was like, oh my God. She was like, yeah, you need a team, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't need a team. Like, and I really want people to stop selling that. Stop selling that.
It's not cookie cutter, because there are so many things that people think from the outside of what you could, should, or would make your business run better. Like, people have always said to me, like, why don't you get a store? That's cute in theory.
It is.
But what you're not thinking about is overhead, rent, inventory to stock, paying employees, insurance. Like, I'm about to pull a left eye. You know how she like broke down numbers? I wanted to sell my shirt for a reasonable amount of money. Let's say $28, $25. Let's make it round. Let's say it cost me $10 to produce that shirt, in addition to the packaging, in addition to the paper that I'm using for the shipping, in addition to the cost of my website. When it comes down to it, I probably made $5 to $7 or $8 on that shirt after taxes. So in theory, I have to sell 100 shirts to profit 800. That is one design.
Yeah, and then you have those people who want to do like 1,000,000 designs, and that's one thing I always liked about you. And it worked. So like when I used to be like, I want to do a t-shirt design, I like how you had the formula of when you were getting your footing, you had these like 1, 2 to 3 staples.
2, 3.
They was those were it. Different colorways, but this is what it was. And I was like, that's really smart because first of all, you're giving yourself a chance for it to catch. And that's another thing. Like people have to catch on to things. And like now you got celebrities wearing it. Like it caught. But if you had just kept like, if you assume like this ain't gonna work or stuck with it, you just kept flipping the design. It's like, what? This isn't Etsy. Like
exactly. And if that's what you want, go there. I don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's always been my direction because you think about it, Polo been selling the same shit on the same shirt in different colors. Nike has been selling the same shit in the same.
Come on, baby, you better just do it.
You better just do it. So there's a way to go about doing it. So it's like, I don't seek to be a lot of things that people think I should be as a brand, 1 or 2. I once thought I should be. Like, it would be easy to create a separate page as a business and have a personal page and all that. No, I don't want it to be too brandy. I don't want it to feel like that. I'm a nigga that make dope shit. You know what I mean? I can brand something and you can come to me because it's that connection with my personality. It's that connection to who I am. And it's also the understanding that, bitch, I ain't making this shit and it's like Amazon, so you're not gonna get it tomorrow. Like it's going to come. Yeah. And if I'm not going to do things for the sake of it, there are 105 HBCUs. Anytime I do something HBCU specific, somebody would be like, well, why didn't you do this school? Why didn't you do this one? I wasn't inspired by that at that time.
Y'all niggas didn't inspire me.
You know what I'm saying? And then going back to that, I have to also think through the lens of, this is no shade or no disrespect to any of the other schools or whatever, because it's all about exposure. Back to, I need to sell 24 shirts before it becomes profitable.
Yeah. Your
enrollment is 300 people at max. 500 people at max.
I know what school you talking about.
Honestly, it's a few of them because it's a whole lot of small HBCUs. I love HBCU culture. I love everything, but I also don't want to be limited to just creating shit. I'm like, when I branded it as HBCU grad shirts, it's not shirts that just have HBCU grad on them. It's shirts that are appealing to HBCU graduates.
Yeah, it encompasses everybody. And then on top of that, I hate when people, I'm having PTSD. I hate when people, like, you'll do something and they'll be like, oh, you should do this geared to such and such. So I used to do that a long time ago. Like, say...
No, you should do that geared to such. You do that.
Because then they don't buy it. So you could do it and you'll be like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then you do it geared to somebody or such and such. And then you be like, well, where you at? Where you at?
Yeah, like you just want to see what it would look like?
Yeah, like they never buy it. So I cut that shit out a long time ago. Like I'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. And I literally I look like the mother from Friday. Okay, girl.
I don't even do that no more. So.
Yeah, like I'm not about to go out my way because y'all always say, oh, you should do this, you should do this. But you don't buy it when they do it. That's it. Like you said, it's just you just want to see the shit. So no. So yeah, I stopped all that extra stuff that's trying to like customize for certain people. It's like, this is the lane and I'm gonna drive in it.
Yeah. Thank you for your feedback. Or not.
It's like an asshole. Everybody, it's like, what is it? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Yeah, I think I got like 16,000 followers. Like everybody has something to say. Like, and I'm glad I'm free from a space where like honestly, that used to like really influence me on a different level. Even make me depressed. And like, somebody said something on like one of the sneaker posts I had that went viral. And of course, 99.9% of the feedback was like praise. And then one guy came up there, I think he said something like, you might want to revisit that Hampton one. I think it can go harder.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Block, bitch. Like what? Like what the fuck? Like what?
You know how hard it is to be a creative.
What made you think your opinion was important enough for you to put it on my page and to say this publicly? You know, lost your fucking mind. Block.
Yeah, I always say on this podcast, you know, people that do math, 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4. People who specialize in English and all that other stuff, the is always going to be spelled THE. There's always a right answer. Being creative, there's so many solutions to one problem. And people really have to understand that. But then on top of that, they also need to respect that. Because what you're doing when you make those comments about like, you know, well, this could have did this. Even though, I mean, sometimes like, yeah, criticism, feedback. I mean, once you post on the internet, it's kind of fair game. So yes. But also with that is like,
yes and no.
This wasn't quick. This wasn't, did you not think this wasn't going to take time? Like, I just be like, what is I guess I'm like, what is people's fucking motives when they be doing that? Like,
well, the nigga in me, like, you ain't gotta like, but I don't want you to misperceive that word? I just made it up. I kind of like it.
Is that a word?
I couldn't think of what I'm...
You on the right podcast, because I be making words out left and right on this joint.
So misperceive or whatever. You know where I'm going. Just flow with me.
Come on. Push that shit out. No, push that shit out.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. My business transitioned, and I had to recognize that because it was a place where before most people knew me or knew of me in the beginning. So if you know me, you know you can't come at me sideways. Like you know that's just a recipe for destruction. I mean, I'm calmer now that I'm in therapy, but you know, I will argue and interact for fun and just make an example of embarrassing.
But they have time today
and every day to talk shit. But I had to step back and realize, oh, these motherfuckers don't know me. So it's like if you say something crazy, I have to check myself because it's like, okay, we're dealing with people who are just used to saying whatever to whoever, and they're not technically consciously associating with me. They're just publicly giving their opinion because they feel entitled to.
But you know, we do the same thing.
I don't do that. I don't go on people's Facebook.
You don't be up on the baby, I be on the shade room. I be like, what? I be like, what's because they gave us gifts now. Good God. Every post I respond to now is a gift.
The shade room is different because you come there to be shady. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be like, okay, see, revisit that logo concept. Them colorways was trash. Like,
so I've had people, I have had people do that. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
There's always a broke bitch that wasn't going to buy it anyway. But it's like, what? Like, you think that to yourself. You screenshot that. You even DM that to your friends. You do that. Like, I mean, normally the person that said it, these are the things you can do. You can screenshot it. You can talk shit to yourself. You can DM it to your friends and talk shit.
Or I go into straight to my close friends.
Once you come to my comments and say something, oh, you want to argue.
And now a quick commercial break.
Tired of clients not understanding your creative vision? Artboard Studio is here to save the day. With Artboard Studio, you can showcase your ideas seamlessly, impressing clients and upselling your services. Create stunning mock-ups that bring your designs to life, making it easier than ever for clients to see your vision. And the best part? You can try Artboard Studio's Pro Plan free for 3 months. Just use the code TOTIB3PRO. Don't miss out on the exclusive offer. Get Artboard Studio and transform the way you communicate your creativity today. So look, this girl on Instagram. And you know how like you share something with your friends, you push the like paper airplane and then you send it. And then you can make the comment. Well, you know how where you share sometimes the person's name is at the top. Well, somebody accidentally pushed the girl's name and was like, she be doing too much, blah, blah, blah. So the girl who got it, baby girl ended up posting it. She was like, well, yeah, you put this. She was like, I think you've been sending this to your friends. And she posted it as a post on her feed.
Damn.
I was inconsolable. I said, damn. But but at the same token, I love that for her because what keeping it real goes wrong. Like you was doing too much. And here's the thing. I talk about people. People probably talk about me. I hate when people act green. Okay. I talk about people talk about me. I've probably been in somebody's group chat. Somebody's been in my group chat. Like, then that's how the world spins. Okay. So my whole thing is I kind of also am getting to this point in my growth and with clients, with friends and with clients where it's kind of like, if I said it, I'm just about to say I said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I said it. And that's kind of the stance. The old me, especially in business, I would kind of be like, pop my shit. And then I'd be like, but whatever, here's your design. Now the old me is like, yeah, nah, this ain't about to fly, blah, blah, blah. If you don't like it and it still goes up, I'm still going to post with like the work that I loved in my portfolio. And then when you be like, well, why didn't you, post it? Like, no, because I said what I said. And it's ugly.
I said what I said. And what you think was some bullshit.
Did you watch the Nene? I mean, we're here. Did you watch the
Nene?
Yeah.
I love with Niecy and Monique Reese. That bitch.
One thing that I took.
When she sat down and said, cheers to the girls week, I said, oh, we about to be in for a ride.
Baby, strap up. I watched all of it and I flew through it. I'm sorry. I know this has nothing to do with this podcast, y'all. Okay.
No, what's cool? And I can't wait for part 2.
I am ready. And Cynthia, girl. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
As we in there. I know for me, for a minute, I didn't realize that I recognized getting a job. I viewed that through the lens of failure, I think, or I didn't fail. And I think I'm in a space now where I don't consider that failure at all because I don't have shit to prove. It's just like going back to what you said, that fucking hustle and bustle of everything. I could easily be out here hustling, but like, yeah, I'm trying to chill. You know what I mean? I want to create for the love of creation. And I feel like now when I look back at some old designs I've done, even if they were commercially successful, I can look at stuff I've done and be like, oh, you forced that out. Or you were desperate in this moment. Like, because I can tell the energy behind it. You know what I mean? And then I think we internalize so many things that happen outside of us that have nothing to do with us as a reflection of our business. For example, algorithms change the game with everything. So I could put out the dopest shit ever and no one sees it. I dropped some new joints like a couple weeks ago when they went crazy. I posted that to the same stuff months ago. It's still on my page.
Yeah, it's like they pick for you.
They pick for you, and playing that game and trying to navigate that is not something I choose to do or want to do in my life right now. It's a primarily internet-based business. So yeah, how do you view it, or what led you? Like, how do you think now? How do you think you're going to be able to balance it?
I am excited about the fact that I now, like you said, I kind of can pick and choose. One thing that I'm learning because I'm going also, it's not a, how do I say this? I'm trying to spiritually also connect myself back, right?
I got you.
So with that being said, there's times in business where you have to, even though you're great at something, it's a talent, you have to also protect it. Mm-hmm. And when you're trying to live in purpose, or when you're going on these different journeys of reflection, of growth, because again, I mean, we're in our late 30s. We're not the same 30-year-old.
And you're late 30s.
Wow.
I'm in my early 30s, baby.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you have it. So I am in my late 30s. So there's times where I have to realize what I need to protect. And my gift needs to be protected because my gift is bigger than clients. And I think that when you start to understand the importance of your gift, because some people's gift, Beyonce, Erykah Badu, all their gifts are their vocals, so they hone, they use it, and how they see fit. You know, I want to make sure that I'm using my gift how I see fit. Do I think my gift ends at clients? No, I do not. Hence, I'm going back into school. I always said I wanted to go back into education because I feel like that's part of my overall gift with being creative, is to keep these kids creative, especially in a time where they want everything to be like, kids are getting better being able to flex their creative muscle, but then you still have older people lingering around that are just trying to stop it, or they don't understand it, or they're trying to block it.
Or try to shove it into a box, and that's not
Exactly. So that's one of my goals, and I have to protect that. I have to protect my gift for the creatives that are coming next. I have to protect my gift from clients, because money is great, but we all know money is also the root of all evil. I have to also protect my gift because one day there's going to be a day, and I feel like I've done it on small levels where like design has changed somebody's life. Like, you created this, I saw this in fruition. But there is going to be a day that I'm going to have a project, and money on the project is not going to mean anything to me, and it's going to save somebody's life. So I am really intentional on what that looks like.
Stay tuned for part 2 on the next episode of That One Time in Business with Casey Renee.
So did you enjoy the gems I dropped today, or feel normalized after you push play? Well, feel free to like, subscribe, and share That One Time in Business with me, your host, Casey Renee. Now remember, we are all in this crazy shit together.